Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tausif, and I am back with a new live stream. And we will be talking about the intense situation that we are all witnessing right now. And it's very interesting. And I can tell you that for someone like myself who has studied political science, I've studied American politics, competitive politics, international relations, political theory. I mean, these are things that I have studied in school and studied public policy in graduate school. And when you study public policy, when you study political science, it's one thing to read books, read articles, um, and to appear for exams, to do your homework, to do your assignments, write policy papers. That's one thing. But the real interesting part of studying political science is to study the subjects, to study the courses, but to then also observe reality and to see what's going on in the world, what's going on in your country, what's going on in, state politics, national politics, international politics, and to learn from the real world. Yes, you'll study books. I've got books right here, political science books that I read. But to actually see politics in action, that's the real learning, that's the real fun. And I don't know if I can explain it the way I want, but I hope you understand what I'm talking about. I mean, when I studied economics, I read about tariffs, I read about international negotiations, and you also have to study history because we learn from history. So when we talk about international relations, we study international relations between different countries. We go back decades and we read about things that happened in the past. And what do we learn from it? What do we learn from everything that already happened? But then now, as we look at this entire tariff situation, and I really don't want to call it a situation because I think a situation has a negative tone. It seems like there's a problem, but I view this as an opportunity. Whatever President Trump is doing regarding the tariffs, this is an opportunity to create a stronger America. Yes, is there going to be some pain in the process, some uncertainty? Yes, probably. When you see the markets go down, the Dow falls, people get worried, but I tell them, don't worry. Things are going to get better. This is a step in the right direction. There may be some temporary pain, but it's going to get a whole lot better in the long term. It's like taking sometimes when people are sick, you have to take a syrup, a medicine, and it tastes bitter, right? It's unpleasant, the smell, the taste. But in the long run, it helps you because once you cross that period of illness, once you successfully overcome that episode of illness and you're on a path to recovery, then it can lead to long-term good health. Maybe it's not the perfect example, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Whatever is happening right now, you know, it's going to lead to a better future for all of us. If you are an American, if you live in the United States, if you love this country, you gotta have faith. Gotta have faith that things will be better in the long run. So going back to what I was saying, yes, we studied microeconomics, macroeconomics, demand and supply, international trade, and tariffs. And now it's an opportunity for somebody like myself who studied economics. It's an opportunity to watch this real life action. And we are part of it. We are part of it because we are watching history being written. And this is an opportunity. I mean, you got to pay attention to each and every action that's taking place, everything that's being done. I mean, now is not the time to turn off your TV, to turn off your computer, to turn off the radio, and to stay uninformed. This is not that moment. This is the moment to tune in. This is the moment to pay attention. This is the moment to observe history being written. My friends, share with me your thoughts. Ken, good to see you. Ken says, good morning, Brother Tassif. God bless you. Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you for being here. So good to see you. Anyone else who has tuned in? Please let me know. Please let me know. I see another viewer. Okay. American Muscle. Everyone, thank you for being here. Share with me your thoughts. You don't have to agree with me. Disagree all you want. Share with me your thoughts, okay? I'm doing this morning live stream because I woke up, I saw some news that I'm going to share with you, and I said, you know what? I have things I want to share. So here I am. Jewel, good to see you, Jewel. Gina, so good to see you. So we are really watching history being written. I mean, this is the moment. I mean, just, my friends, you got to think about this very carefully, very deeply. Just feel it. We are in this moment. This is April the 9th of 2025, 7:02 a.m. in the Midwest. Eastern time zone, it's 8:02 a.m. Pacific, it's different. Mountain, it's different. So here we are. Here we are. History is being written, and we are part of it. April 9th of 2025. People will be talking about April 2025 decades from now. I've said this before, maybe a century from now. People will be talking about April 2025 and the things that are happening right now. My friends, there are mixed reactions regarding President Trump's tariffs. Some love tariffs, some don't. The countries that are facing the tariffs, they don't like it. But many of those countries seem to understand why this is being done. Many of the countries facing the Trump tariffs, let's call it the Trump tariffs. By the way, if you support our president, our 45th president, our 47th president, Donald J. Trump, if you support him, please write Trump 2025, just like Edwin wrote. Trump 2025 in the live chat. Thank you, my friends. And do not forget to subscribe and stay connected. Please do that. So, many of the countries that are facing the Trump tariffs, they understand why it's being done and they want to make a deal with the United States. Each country wants to make a deal with the US to address this tariff situation for them, for those countries, not a situation for us, because our country is doing it. Our country is trying to create a smooth environment for fair trade. So many of the countries that are facing the tariffs, they seem to understand why it's being done. In fact, repeatedly, some countries have called the United States to talk about the tariffs and to try to make a deal. 70 countries. 70 countries have reached out to the United States and they want to make a deal. And I call this the MAGA agenda being successfully implemented. Make America great again, my friends. If you agree with the idea of making America great again, please write MAGA in the live chat. Write MAGA, write Make America Great Again. Flood the live chat window with those words, Make America Great Again, MAGA. This is the MAGA agenda being successfully implemented. And there are countries, as I have said, 70 countries, maybe more by now. It was 70 yesterday. When I heard it yesterday, it was 70. But maybe by now it's even more. Countries that are reaching out, countries that are picking up the phone. They're dialing the number. They're calling the United States. Countries that want to talk to the Trump administration. Countries that want to talk to President Donald J. Trump. And they want to make a deal. They want to find a way out of this tariff situation that they're stuck in. And this is the MAGA agenda being successfully implemented. My friends, let me tell you, there are those countries that want to retaliate. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. There are countries that want to retaliate. They want to fight back. They want to show their strength. There are countries that don't want to back down. They want to retaliate. But in reality, let me tell you, my friends, and I hope that you agree with me, let me tell you that retaliating against the United States is not a good idea. If there are countries out there that say, oh, we're going to retaliate, think again. It's not a good idea to retaliate against the United States. And why would any country want to retaliate? Because what we are trying to do, what President Trump is trying to do, and President Trump is in the White House because of the American people. The American people overwhelmingly voted for him. The American people put President Trump in the White House so that he can make America great again. So what President Trump is trying to do is to create an environment for fair trade. President Trump wants fair trade. There's been a lot of unfair trade, and he's trying to correct that situation. He's trying to improve the environment for global trade by ensuring fair trade. So why would any country want to retaliate? Well, obviously countries that took advantage of the United States, countries that benefited from unfair trade, those are the countries that want to retaliate. But as I said, retaliating against the United States is not a good idea. It is not a wise move. But yeah, you'll get some of those countries that want to retaliate. Well, one such country seems to be China. China wants to retaliate. And here's what happened. Donald Trump, he slapped 104% tariffs on China. 104%, 104. 104% tariffs on China. And that tariff's live. And China announced that they will increase tariffs on US imports to 84%. So things are really getting heated. It's really heating up. It is intense. Tariffs versus tariffs. On one hand, you got the countries that are calling the United States and saying, Mr. President, we want to make a deal. We don't want a tariff war with the US. We want to make a deal. Those are the wise countries. Those are the countries that are adopting the right approach. Countries that want to talk to the US and make deals. But then you got China. China is escalating the situation. Instead of trying to say, Mr. President, we understand what you're trying to do. Okay, let's make a deal. Let's work towards ensuring fair trade. But no, China has taken a different approach. China wants to retaliate. So things are really heating up. And my friends, let me tell you, we the American people, if you're a proud American, let me just pause here. If you are a proud American, please say, I am a proud American. Write it in the live chat. Or you can write, America is great. Or America is awesome. Or Trump is awesome. Trump is the greatest. Whatever you want to write, please show your support for the United States of America. Please show your support for Donald J. Trump, the president we elected, the leader we elected. I see comments. USA, I'm a proud American. Wonderful. Thank you so much, my friends. Steve is saying America is great. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, my friends. Anyone else, please flood the live chat window with your comments. With your comments, flood the live chat window. Tangerine is here. Tangerine, so good to see you. Thank you. Gina is saying, Liberation Day brought to us by President Trump. Jewel is saying, great country, great president. Thank you, Jewel. So, my friends, we as the American people, we must continue to support our president. And you know what? I see this. I talk to people. I know from the conversations that I have. I know by observing everything that's happening, support for President Donald J. Trump is increasing every single day. Support for President Trump is increasing every single day. Support for Donald Trump increased a lot over the last several months, over the last few years, which is why Trump overwhelmingly won the election in November 2024. But since the election, support for President Trump has grown even more. Now, somebody might say, oh, you look at all the protests, see all the protests. There are thousands of people out there protesting. They don't like Trump. You know what? Those protesters, they are a very, very small minority. And a lot of those people out there protesting, they're clueless. They got no clue what's going on. They're just out there holding banners. Maybe somebody asked them to be there. Who knows? A lot of those people, they don't know what's going on. They have no clue. They're just out there occupying space, holding banner, chanting whatever they've been told to chant. You ask them about politics, you ask them civics questions, they won't be able to answer. A lot of those protesters out there, you see, they're out there like protesting, marching. You go and ask them how many justices are there on the Supreme Court. How many conservative justices, how many liberal justices? A lot of them won't be able to answer. You go and ask them how many seats are there in the US Senate? How many seats are there in the House? They won't be able to answer. You ask them questions about the Bill of Rights, they won't be able to answer. You ask them simple questions, they won't be able to answer. The protesters out there, they're just there for show. They're just there to show, oh, we're strong, we're protesting, thousands of people. But you go and ask them basic civics questions and see if they can answer. Just ask them, like, how many justices are there on the Supreme Court? Ask them to name 2 justices on the Supreme Court. And I can tell you that a lot of those protesters will not be able to answer. They will not be able to answer. A lot of those people out there, basic civics questions, they won't be able to answer. You ask them to name 3 cabinet positions. Just ask them, hey, what are 3 cabinet positions? They won't be able to answer. A lot of those people, they have no clue what's going on. You ask them simple questions. You ask them, like, who's the Secretary of State? Who's the Secretary of Energy? Who's the Energy Secretary? They won't be able to answer those questions. But they're out there trying to show that they're out there protesting. So anyway, don't be fooled by the protesters, by the numbers of protesters you see. Let me tell you, in reality, you talk to an everyday American, you talk to hardworking people, you talk to people who are working in the manufacturing sector, they're working in farming, they're working in agriculture, they're working in retail, they're working in IT. Just pick your industry. You talk to hardworking Americans who are employed. You talk to hardworking Americans who are starting a business. Americans who did not have the confidence to start a business during the Biden-Harris years, but now that President Trump is in office, Americans they're coming forward and they're saying, okay, I got capital, now I'm going to start a business. I want to hire people. I want to produce a product. I want to provide a service. Now I'm going to do it because I feel confident about President Trump. You talk to those people, you talk to hardworking Americans out there, and you will know that support for President Donald J. Trump is increasing every single day. Do not be deceived. Do not be fooled by the protesters you see out there. Protesters who can't even tell you how many justices are there on the Supreme Court. Don't be fooled. We, the American people, we must continue to support our Republican leaders. We must continue to support our president. With a Republican majority in the House, with a Republican majority in the Senate, with a Republican president, we have an opportunity to accomplish great things. We must stand with our president and our Republican leaders in the House and the Senate. The United States of America, what do we want? If somebody asks, okay, what does the USA want? Who can tell me? There's a lot going on, nationally, internationally. And if somebody comes and asks you, okay, what does the United States of America want? What's the answer? Do you know? I can give you the answer. I can give you the answer, my friends. We want peace. The United States of America wants peace. We want fair trade, as Fresh just said. Fair trade, yes, we want fair trade. We want peace. Global peace. We're not talking about just peace in one region of the world. No, we want global peace. We want the world to be a more peaceful place. We want peace, but right now you see China is escalating the tension. China could simply have said, Mr. President, we want to make a deal, but instead China is trying to be aggressive. China is being aggressive, and they're saying that they'll take necessary countermeasures. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's wait and see where this goes. But remember, all that we want as the United States of America, all that we want is peace. Yes, we want peace. And part of that is fair trade. When we have fair trade, there's going to be greater peace all over the world. The United States of America is the strongest and the most powerful country in the world. But over a period of many decades, other countries, they have accumulated a lot of wealth by taking advantage of the United States of America. A lot of countries out there, they have accumulated a lot of wealth. And how did they do that? They did so by taking advantage of the United States. Now, accumulating wealth is not an issue. If countries want to get more wealth, they want to be wealthy, they want to be prosperous, yeah, absolutely, why not? We want the world overall to be a more prosperous place. So, other countries accumulating wealth, that's not an issue. But if they are doing so by taking advantage of the United States of America, that is the problem. Other countries accumulating wealth by taking advantage of the United States of America. We're getting ripped off, and we don't want that. And so we have a president who is going to fix that problem. He's going to address that issue. We have a president who's saying that America won't be ripped off anymore. We're not going to allow that to happen. We're not going to allow other countries to take unfair advantage. So, President Donald J. Trump is addressing that problem. We have a president who's going to make sure that there's an environment for fair trade. We want fair trade, not unfair trade. We have been victims. The United States of America, we the American people, we have been victims because of unfair trade, because other countries have used tariffs and non-tariff barriers to create a very poor environment for trade. And what happened? Our people, we the American people, we've seen Americans losing jobs. We've seen American businesses being closed. We've seen American businesses shutting down, people losing their jobs, families being impacted. We're not going to allow that to happen. We're not going to allow that to happen. We are going to make sure that we are putting America first. My friends, please write in the live chat, please write America first. Please write America first. Please write America first, my friends. In the live chat, flood the live chat by writing America first. Steve is writing America first. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so very much. Fred is here. Hi, Fred, from Southern Indiana. Edwin, America first. Thank you, Edwin. Draco is writing America first. Thank you so much, my friends. Gina is writing America first. Great. All right. So, my friends, we have to wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see what happens. Okay, I wanted to do a quick live stream, 32 minutes into the live stream. I'm going to wrap it up. But let's wait and see what happens. Pay attention. Listen to the radio. Watch TV. Pay attention to the news. And stay connected with me, because you know what? Whatever's happening out in the world, international trade, national issues, whatever, we will be talking about it right here. And you can let me know what topics you want me to discuss. Suggest topics, all right? But yes, we will be talking about trade and tariffs. We will be talking about that. So President Trump, I think he's doing a great job. And as I said before, will there be some temporary pain? Yeah, when you see the Dow going down, yeah, people get worried, people get scared. I understand that. But that's temporary. That's temporary. Things are going to get better. Yeah, the Dow is where? Is it at 37,000-ish right now? Between 37, 38, somewhere there? Well, who knows? Maybe it'll get to 50,000. Maybe it'll get to 50,000 with President Trump's leadership. It can happen. You got to be optimistic. You have to be positive. You got to be patient. You know, Gina just said patience is needed. Patience is essential. You got to be patient. Give it some time. I mean, this is not the first time that we've seen the Dow plunge. But what happens? The Dow goes down, the Dow goes up. It goes down, it goes up. It goes down a few days in a row, it goes up a few days in a row. It can happen. So you got to be patient. Things are going to get better. In order to achieve something greater, we must face some temporary pain. Some temporary pain. What happens when you start working out? I mean, just tell me. Let's say you haven't been to the gym in 5 years. Okay? And then you decide, you know what? I want to ensure good health, long-term good health. I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start slow. But I'll start working out. What do? You start walking on the treadmill and you get exhausted. You are cycling and you get aches and pains. You start lifting weights. You feel pain. Your muscles ache. The first day after your workout, you may be super exhausted. You may have aches and pains. Second day, more aches and pains. Third day, more aches and pains. And then what? things start getting better. You start improving. You start gaining more strength and more stamina. Things start getting better. Previously, you worked out for 15 minutes. Now you work out for a half hour. Now you work out for an hour. And you're getting stronger and more healthy. That's what happens. That's the process. It takes time. Just think about it as we starting to work out. There may be some temporary aches and pains. When the Dow goes down, people get scared, but that's temporary. Once we overcome this hurdle, this initial hurdle, it's going to get a whole lot better going forward. My friends, do you agree with me? If you do, let me know. This is like going back to the gym after many, many years. Okay? Thank you, my friends. So, don't be scared. This is temporary pain, temporary inconvenience. It's going to get better. Things are going to get better. You have to be positive. Think positive. Be optimistic. Be energetic. Be patriotic. Thank you, my friends. So, I'm gonna do more live streams, and I'm gonna do more videos. So stay connected with me, my friends, and send me your questions and comments. I would appreciate that. If there are things you want me to discuss, things I haven't discussed on my channel, let me know. Okay. So thank you all, my friends. May God bless you all. May God bless President Donald J. Trump. May God bless the Trump administration, the great Trump administration. May God bless our great country, the United States of America. May God bless our U.S. allies. And may God bless freedom-loving people all over the world. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so very much, my friends. I'll be back again very soon with more videos and more live streams. Thank you so very much. Frank, I see you're here. Good to see you, Frank. So, thank you, my friends. I'll be back again soon. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.